Um, in this day and age, in boxing, 36 years old is not old compared to 10 years ago, or 15 years ago. When you were past like 33, you were considered to be old in the sport. But I started on YouTube in November of 2010, so I've been on for a little under 6 years, a little under 6 years. So one of the first fights, well, actually the first fight on YouTube that I covered of Mauricio Herrera was Ruslan Provodnikov. And if you remember that fight, that was a crazy ass fight. They beat the shit out of each other's faces. And that's when Mauricio Herrera's chin was pretty much solidified as far as what we know now. You can't knock Mauricio Herrera out. His last fight, which was, what was that? Right now it's November the 3rd, 2016. I am TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. I have a website launching at the end of this month. It's official, FightView360.com. Everything you need from boxing will be on that website. There's no better way I can say it. You know how people have websites and they be, no disrespect, but they be bullshit websites? It just looks cheaply done and all that. I am not launching no bullshit website. As you can see, I'm making some moves. The next thing I got to do is change all this background and shit. But basically, I purchased $3,200 of stuff, and since I went to college for public speaking, marketing, and finance, I have to learn how to do all this technical shit. So, hang in there. Things are getting a lot better. I know I have to fix the levels on my microphone, but once again, I'll tell you again, I'm new to this shit. So, Mauricio Herrera's last fight, which is good now to see him fighting twice in 2016. His last fight was in May against Golden Boy's Frankie Gomez, and that was on the undercard of Canelo versus Cano, and he didn't look good. Now, he was supposed to be fighting Lucas Matisse. I'm not making any excuses for him, but I do feel that he didn't take freaking Gomez seriously. Just looking at him, just watching the fight, it didn't seem like the same dude. Now, this guy's been on the end of some bad decisions before, and he's lost some clean decisions before. But what I noticed about Mauricio Herrera is over the years, especially over the last 5 years, no, I'm going to say, 5 years, he's gotten better almost with each fight to a certain extent, or more so after a loss. Now, when it comes to the Jose Benavidez fight, he should have been a WBA champion at 140 pounds. He should have had Danny Garcia's belt twice. Once from Danny Garcia, when he should have been WBA, WBC, and Ring Magazine champion. Now, before I go on any further, there's a lot of people still, or more so I noticed, not a lot of people, but more so I noticed there's a growing amount of people that are saying that Danny Garcia won. And I'm thinking, y'all wasn't talking that shit before. Now, even though Danny Garcia, I forgot the exact punch stats. Because the last time I watched the fight was, I got to watch it again. But Mauricio Herrera won. And in my next video, during the fight week of his next fight, which is against Pablo Cesar Cano, that is going to be on November the 18th, 2016. And I believe that's going to be on Golden Boy Live, if I'm correct, which is a free card. I'm going to be posting the shit out of that link. Like the Golden Boy Live cards, those Friday night, fight cards they be having, that's some good boxing. But I don't think that I don't know if it's like not marketed right or what. They do like live streams, of boxing, not only on the Ringtv page, but on YouTube as well. So, he's fighting Pablo Cesar Cano. You may know Pablo Cesar Cano from, if I'm correct, he fought Eric Morales in a good fight. I'm checking his record now. Paulie Malignaggi, Shane Mosley, Ashley Theophane, who else? A couple of other people, too. Now, he's not that good. So, Mauricio Herrera should make, like an easy night. I'm not saying Herrera's going to go for that. I'm not saying he's going to get the knockout. He's not known to be a knockout guy. But I think he's going to, I think that he's got to take this fight seriously. Now, when he fought Frankie Gomez was undefeated, but Frankie Gomez won like a clean sweep. He clearly clean cut beat Mauricio Herrera. And it was circulating around in the media that he was like really frustrated and upset that the Matisse fight didn't go the way it was supposed to go, because for one, Matisse hasn't been the same since Danny Garcia. You saw that John Molina was laying hands on him, and then Victor Postol took his soul. So Matisse is supposed to be back around like March or so. Maybe that fight with Herrera, it can still happen. But one thing is for sure is Herrera is got to get on his game plan. I really don't think he took, for some reason, I really don't think he took Frankie Gomez seriously. I don't remember what he said in the post-fight interview. I don't remember reading anything of him about what he was saying about the fight. But just watching him, I was like, yeah, that's not him. And then he looked a little soft. But remember, this fight was at welterweight, was above the 140-pound limit. And in my opinion, he's a natural 140-pounder. So what? Let me look at this real quick. Oh, there's my mouse right here. Let me look at this real quick. Yeah, that last fight was the most he weighed in like 8 years, maybe. I'm talking about as far as the weighing is concerned, like 8 years, maybe. So I'm not making any excuses for Herrera. I'm just saying, like, he's a good, fighter that sometimes goes underrated. For example, when you look at his work schedule of the fights he has fought, he's fought some pretty tough competition. When you look at Hank Lundy, we provided full coverage for that fight right here on the channel. That fight was ugly, nasty, and a fight that could have went either way. But Herrera got the win. Jose Benavidez, a fight where he should have won. He should have won that fight. Johan Perez was giving him some major problems. Remember, Johan Perez fought Yoshihiro Kamagai, like a couple of years before that or something like that. Johan Perez was giving him some problems until he started turning it up during the second half of the fight. Because if I'm correct, I was a little upset. I'm like, oh, man, he's going to lose. But he won that fight. And, of course, remember what happened with Danny Garcia. You can't remember what happened with Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia himself was having trouble making that 140 pounds. But also, he wasn't doing what he was supposed to be doing, when he went down, to Puerto Rico. Then you look at Kareem Mayfield, Mike Alvarado, Mike Dallas, Ruslan Provodnikov, Michael Shondo. He's got some good names on his resume. So even though he has 6 losses, he only has 7 KOs, which means he's not known as a power puncher, but he's had a pretty solid, not gonna say solid, like good career. He's fought, past champions and future world champions. And what should have been the biggest win of his career should have been Danny Garcia. But come on, it was down in Puerto Rico. Remember the whole Showtime build-up? I'm coming home. And this was Danny Garcia's first fight after the Lucas Matisse fight. Remember that? And then, if I'm correct, after that Herrera fight, Danny Garcia never fought at 140 pounds again. Or was it Lamont Peterson? Let me go check. I believe his last fight. No, that wasn't at 140, was it either? I gotta check this real quick. My bad, I'm getting used to this fucking new setup. I'm getting used to it though. We're gonna get there. I'm getting used to it. I cover all these fights, but I be forgetting shit, man. I be forgetting. Yep, he never, after Herrera, he never fought at 140 again. And I just interviewed Danny. You know what? I interviewed Danny a couple days ago. You know what? When I interview him again next week, I'm going to be at Danny versus Vargas. I'm going to ask him about the Herrera fight. I'm going to ask him. I'm going to talk to him about it. I'm going to talk to him about it. I'm going to ask him. We're going to get his, and see if he knows who get one of those fucking back things. I'll be in this chair like sometimes 16 hours a day. I'm gonna ask him about that. But where can Mauricio Herrera go from here? Pablo Cesar Cano is known to be a 147-pound fighter. I wonder if Herrera is going to stay at 147 pounds. You know? Because now he's fought, Cano has been fighting above 140 consistently since 2012. He's fought at 135, even 130. But 147, it seems as though where he's going to be staying. So I wonder if he's going to stay at 147 pounds. In fact, let me go really quick to see if Mauricio Herrera is ranked by any of the organizations. By the way, I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. Mauricio Herrera is going to be taking on Pablo Cesar Cano November the 18th, 2016 on Ringtv Live. So I'm going to post the ticket information and all that stuff down below in the description box. So is Herrera ranked at 140 or 147? I am checking. Okay, at 140, not by the WBC. At 147, not by the W. Oh, yeah, he's, okay, at 140 pounds. He's ranked number 14 by the WBC at 140 pounds. So that's a good thing that he's ranked. No, 15. Even though he's at the bottom, it's a good thing that he's ranked. He's not on the WBA rankings, but they did him dirty anyway. They did him dirty. Not by the IBF, not by the WBO. I would really like to see Terrence Crawford versus Mauricio Herrera. I would really like to see that. I would really like to see that. And he's not ranked anywhere at 147. He shouldn't be because he spent, all this time at 140. But, he is at 147, at 140. So it's going to be interesting to see if I was to interview him, I hope somebody ask him or ask him if he's going to, stay at 140. Is this the place he's going to be at? But, of course, I'm going to be covering the fight. I've been off. I'm not going to say off. I've been working kind of like 30% capacity over the last 16 months. A lot of health issues last year, a lot of family issues, a lot of personal issues. But now those things are in the past. And me, my pop, we're going to be covering like a lot of boxing like we used to. Getting out videos 6, sometimes 7 days a week, multiple videos. Please subscribe. I am TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live.